What's going on, everybody? We are back with episode number 5 of Bodybuilding and Bollocks with Luke, the runner-up of the Tampa Pro last week. How you feeling? How you feeling, buddy? After losing?
It feels great to lose, man.
Well, in your defense, you lost to possibly the GOAT.
Yeah,
so.
It's not too shabby.
Yeah.
A lot of people who were there in person had the result differently. I mean, it was quite a split decision. I don't think it was quite as clear cut as people.
Do you want my honest opinion from?
I completely agree with the decision. I mean,
I felt like this is where he got you.
Mm-hmm.
You had way more muscularity.
Yeah.
Dexter brought one of his best looks. Like, he was really, really sharp.
I know.
But I felt like he had you the most in overall balance.
Yeah.
Your upper body is just fucking huge, and your legs are there, but they're not as big as your upper body.
They were flat. It was super flat. This is something that Chris and I spoke about afterwards. I think I pissed them out backstage.
No, but when I looked at you and Dexter standing next to each other, I'm like, I think he's got him. But like, the more I looked, the more I'm like, there's something Dexter has that Luke doesn't have, and I think it's just overall balance.
I agree. I mean, he's Dexter. The only thing I did have him on is the waist.
Yeah, his waist was a little. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, mine was pretty good. Yeah,
no, you've definitely mastered that fucking vacuum. You got to teach me how to do that shit.
Yes, I just don't eat on show day, which is probably why I was really flat. So I need to sort that out. I need to find a balance.
Let me ask you this: how does it feel? I don't know. Is this the first time you competed with Dexter or no?
Yeah. I think I did down in Australia with him last year.
Yeah, but I think this was different because people saw you as possibly beating him.
Yeah.
And
there's like a beam of light here. You see this?
Yeah, I can see that.
It's annoying.
Just leave it. Who cares? They don't give a shit.
All right. It's an effect.
Yeah, it's like you got that like stripe in your eye. Anyway.
Lightsaber.
What?
Sorry.
Okay. Anyways, how does it feel standing backstage with Dexter? Like, I've competed against Dexter.
It was very cool. Do you know what was the coolest thing?
Huh.
Is they did the first call out. I was like, oh, yeah, first call out, good sign. And then they moved me next to Dexter, and then they moved everyone else around me and Dexter. I was like, oh, well, this is good. And then we went backstage, and then they did another call out, but without me and Dexter.
Yeah.
We were both like, what's this? What's going on?
That's good though.
And then somebody with the clipboard came up to me and was like, you and Dexter are going to have a call out in a second, so don't go anywhere. And that's when my asshole fell out a little bit. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, so do you mean you must have had a lot of those moments in your career where you're like, what is going on? What the fuck is happening?
No, they didn't. They never came to, like, the best. I think the closest to that type of thing that's happened to me was 2011 when they compared me, Dexter, Dennis Wolf, and Evan.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I think Ben Pekulski was in that show, and so was, I think, Sean Roden did that show also.
Yeah.
And when I got that first call out, that's kind of when I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's just the best.
Yeah. But what I wanted to ask you was, standing backstage with Dexter, were you intimidated when he was pumping up?
No.
You didn't feel any type of nervousness? You were totally ready to go?
I'm fine. That's fine.
Yeah, that's a daunting task, though, to beat the GOAT.
It's only because I kind of stood next to him and I was like, I've got you, old man. You are tiny. No, it wasn't. It was more just like, oh, he's not actually that big. And but when you're backstage, everyone looks soft.
Yeah.
Like, you can't tell. I remember being backstage and Lucas was there, and I was like, he's really fat. Like, he's literally hasn't dieted. Then he gets under the lights, and you're like, he's pretty good. And then you see the photos, and you're like, what the fuck?
That's but Lucas was a little off.
Yeah, but no, I mean, he looked.
I thought compared with you more. The placing I thought that could have been even closer was you and Ian.
Ian looked really good.
You beat Ian on all the front poses, I think, more than anything. But the back shots and the side shots were very close.
Yeah.
I think you're bigger than he is. Your back is bigger and thicker.
He has that graininess that almost no one has. I asked him, I was like, how the fuck do you get like that? And he's like, I don't know.
Did he say because I'm pale? Is that what he said?
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I was like, yeah. But he is a naturally pale man.
Yeah, so is fucking Juan Morel. Did you see Juan Morel's fucking grainy ass photo?
He's not as grainy as Ian. Not even.
Look at his most recent photo that he posted.
He's not as grainy as Ian.
I'm telling you, it's close.
Well,
Anyway, the point is his side shots were fucking outstanding.
Really dug out, yeah.
Yeah, and back shots were close. I thought you and him were close. I definitely think you had him, but he definitely improved. This was his best show. Yes. His best showing of the year, I think.
Well, this show he did with Patrick Tuor, so he worked with him for the last couple of weeks.
Who's Patrick? Who?
Patrick Tuor. He's a coach from Switzerland, I believe. He does a lot of guys coming up. He did Iris Kyle.
He left Matt Jansen?
Yeah, but he's just for the last couple of weeks, and they tried something different, a completely different peak, and now he's staying with Patrick for his off season and his prep next year. So it'll be really interesting. Wow,
I wonder how that came about.
I'm just speculating. I know Matt's just had a baby, so it was actually born the day of Tampa. So it could have been Ian's way of just being like, I want to give you some space. You need to work with your family, because I know Matt wouldn't have let it get in the way.
Yeah.
Hard what he's like that. I don't think Ian would have found that fair.
I don't know how Matt is doing all that he's doing. He's got the new line that he's promoting. Mm-hmm. And he's got who knows how many clients, and doesn't he have 2 kids now?
Exactly, because he doesn't fucking stop.
Yeah, that's a lot of work, man.
Yeah, and he puts the work in. I mean, I worked with him, and he was always great. So he was always very responsive, and he was always on the ball, always on. If I needed to speak to him via WhatsApp, he was just there. So
you didn't feel like you were at your best at Tampa?
No, I thought I was flat. Just, because that's my fault, actually, because I kept saying to Chris, Chris, I need to fucking dry.
Because you knew you were going to compete with Dexter, and you're like, I got to be.
Right. He's like, all right. And then after the show, I said to him, I was like, fuck, I really flat, my legs just disappeared. And he just went, yep. As if and I was like, that's my fault, isn't it? Yeah. He was like, well, we overdid it, and that's, and you looked great, but I wanted that. And then he started saying, forget this whole grainy thing, forget trying to be as dry as possible. You don't have, that's not you. You're Jay. You are big, thick, round, and detailed. You don't need to try and be dry.
Yeah. This is what happens. No, I agree, because what happened was you're trying to play Dexter's game.
I was trying to play.
Well, you knew Dexter was going to be there, and Ian and Lucas.
Yeah,
and they're all fucking peeled out of their mind all the time.
Yeah.
So you had to have been playing that game somehow subconsciously.
Yeah, I think you're right. But my best look is this. Like in the night show, I was probably 10% fuller, and I looked way harder.
Well, if you think about it, you would have been the odd man out in that group, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Like you would have been the big fucking full, shredded guy.
The thing is, it's like I still fucking striated glutes. It's like it's not like I'm not in shape. Everyone's like, oh, you need to get in condition. My glutes are striated. My lower back.
No. I'm not saying that at all.
No, I just know some people are, but I think I've worked out today. Because everyone compares me to Dorian.
Yeah.
I'm not as dry as Dorian, because I don't think anyone else ever has been that dry. I get a lot more shit for it than other people.
I saw one of those comments on, I don't know if it was on my Instagram or YouTube, but they're like, if just tell Luke if he's 5% sharper, he'll do really well at the Olympia. And I'm like, do you know where Luke came from? I'm like, Luke couldn't even get in shape 2 years ago. Now he's fucking peeled.
Yeah, it's just, I think people don't respect that everyone's condition just looks different.
Well, I also think people don't respect that your conditioning gets better.
Yeah.
The more you compete and the older you get.
I always think about it like this. Look at Victor Martinez versus Branch Warren. They're both in shape. Both in shape. Doesn't look the same.
Yeah, I agree.
Jose Raymond and Flex Lewis. They're both peeled. Their condition just doesn't look the same.
Yeah, I agree.
And I've never seen Jay Cutler dry. I've never seen Victor Martinez dry.
No, you're never going to see Jay Cutler look like Ronnie Coleman.
No, exactly.
It's not going to happen.
I'm not trying to say it's okay to not be in shape. But I'm just kind of defending myself.
No. What you're saying is
it's not yet what I want it to be either.
No. I know what you're saying. You're saying you can still be. I think what you're saying is really sometimes that graininess is genetic. Like you're not always going to like, look at Jay. Jay is not void of hard work.
Yeah.
So it's like, Jay is killing it for years on end. one of the hardest workers we know, but he never had that grainy look.
No.
We've seen it.
Phil Heath doesn't.
Well, some body parts. Like
Yeah,
if you,
it's not, but I would say he's dry, but he's not grainy.
Yeah, I agree. I'll give you that. Anyway, so I wanted to ask you about the Olympia prep. What are you guys changing? Anything? Or are you just going to keep on going the same route?
He's pushed my weight up. He's kind of rebounded me a bit. I was 270 this morning, and I look how Dennis. I feel how Dennis James looks in a tank top. I'm just constantly like, fuck. Like, it's like I've chafed really bad in the last couple of days. Everything's just way thicker.
That's good though.
I think it's just because of the water rebound. He's pushed the food up, and then he's just texted me about 10 minutes before we started recording. Here's your diet, and it's got no food on it. So
yeah, bring it all back down.
He's gonna pull it right. He's putting it down hard from tomorrow.
How many weeks you got now?
5.
Yeah, it's time. Yeah. What do you think about Cedric getting an invite?
I'm not really anti it. I mean, I don't know when he's saying that because I've beaten him. No, I think it's no, I don't have a problem with it. It's like from a business perspective, I get it, but I also think he did genuinely want to compete earlier in the end. He couldn't because he was like, you know, and I know the US are very patriotic with their servicemen, so yeah. I think even that, and because he's a name, he'll bring in more tickets, sales, and he's an Arnold Classic winner. He's up there.
Okay, time out. I was in agreement with you about everything until you said he's got a name and he's an Arnold Classic winner. That doesn't mean shit. There's a lot of people with names. Because actually,
that's why I said combining those two, not each.
I don't think that anything that has anything to do with it, and I hope it doesn't have anything to do with for the IFBB. I think it's strictly that he was going to do a show, and they knew he was going to do a show. He might have signed up for it, and then he probably got called off to duty.
Yeah, maybe.
So they're giving him a pass. And that in that regard, I agree with it 100%.
Yeah, but what I meant is why when I say he's an Arnold Classic winner, because like that could have happened to any other pro and he wouldn't give an invite to the Olympia, but they will to Cedric because he is of that caliber.
Well, I think it's also because he's proven in other years that he does 3 or 4 or 5 shows a year anyway.
Yeah.
So that brings me to Rami then, because I guess Rami requested to have an invite too.
Fuck off, Rami. You know,
Is it because he can beat you, or
no? Which why would he? He hasn't won an Arnold Classic. He hasn't been competing as much as Cedric.
He won an Arnold Classic, didn't he? Arnold Classic Brazil or something like that.
It's not the Arnold Classic, is it?
Oh, so you're taking away everybody's.
No, I'm just saying that's the level that Cedric is. The Arnold Classic is a much more prestigious win than any other show apart from the Olympia.
The Columbus Arnold Classic, yeah
the Arnold Classic.
Yeah.
All those are Arnold Classics, but it's not the Arnold Classic.
But someone could say Rami's been as high as 3rd place at the Olympia. Is third place? Wait a minute.
He should have qualified this year.
Wait a minute. Is 3rd place at the Olympia equal to an Arnold, Ohio win?
No, also, but Big Rami's also not in the military. So, I mean, if Big Rami turns around and goes, "Sorry, I was fishing," I don't care. You don't have to be fishing. You could have started your prep early. Stop fucking around.
Yeah. No, listen. If we're, I'm just playing devil's advocate. I don't think Rami should get an invite.
No, I think Cedric being in the army, the US being very patriotic, them also trying to put a nice, like, America stamp on the Olympia, I think makes sense. So, no,
yeah, I think if they start doing it too much, though, like, you know, I see them giving one to Kai. Kai was 2nd place a number of years.
I think Kai's more just because the fans want him there.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can understand that. I guess there has to be special circumstances here and there, right?
Yeah.
So, but I have no problem with Cedric.
No, I don't.
Especially, it's not even for Cedric. It's especially because he's done so many shows every year that he's already proven that he does all the. He's capable of doing a number of shows. So you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. What else is going on? Anything new in Luke's life? And new women or no? Probably not while you're dieting.
I'm just leaving that alone for a bit.
How was training at the Dragon's Lair? How was that training?
Oh, it was really cool though. I actually left the day he completely changed all of the equipment. So what you're seeing now, I haven't been to that bit.
Did you train with Flex or no?
No, because he was training with John and Neil, but I did train with Joe Bennett, which was cool. He came down.
Somebody asked one of the questions in the in the little build up to the show I put up on Instagram, who do you think's the hardest training bodybuilder? Don't say yourself.
Honestly, I think it's about the same. I think at this level, I think you could name 10. I think there's a ceiling of how hard you can train, and I think there's a lot of us there, and then it's everyone else. So you can't just name one person.
I'm gonna put Branch Warren above, a notch above.
Yeah, but he's not currently competing. That's why I wouldn't.
Oh, okay. So you're saying he's retired, so it doesn't count. Yeah. I get it.
I mean, if you're talking of all time, then I would say probably Mike Francois.
I've never seen Mike Francois train.
Well, from what I've heard, he was just an absolute animal.
I would say Ronnie Coleman, then Branch Warren.
Yeah, I've heard from like other pros like Milo said that Mike Francois was how heavy he was. Because he trained at Westside Barbell.
Yeah.
Apparently, he used to do things like he'd have like 7 plates on the bar in the squat, and he'd do like a set of 8, and he'd wait 30 seconds and do it again, and he'd do like 5-6 sets in a row like that.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking insane.
So
that sounds like a myth to me.
Yeah, but I've heard it from multiple people, and Chris was like saying about it. And I asked Mike because I trained with him in Ohio before the Arnold. He was like, "Yeah, we did that shit every week," and I was like, "This is fucking crazy." But I think that's just because he's training in Westside Barbell, where a 7-plate squat is like 3 plates on the flat bench. It's like a lot of people can do it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's average. Yeah. Well, I would say Ronnie, because Ronnie was doing 2-a-days with those kind of weights.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'd probably say,
I
I'd say Ronnie Branch and Mike Francois, and Rich Gaspari probably as well. I've trained with Rich a couple of times, and he's just like a breath. So
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's just so much volume, and he just doesn't let you stop. He'll do like 50 partials, 50 force reps, and you just be fucked on everything.
But there's a point of no return. Like,
yeah, I know that's he tries to. Well, I don't say he tries, but he goes to like Tom Platz level. There you go, Tom Platz.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. All right, listen.
He's probably number 1.
We got some. I got some questions here I pulled off of the Instagram, and I want to ask you because it just makes it easier to do it this way. I should pull the ones off of the last Bodybuilding Bollocks because I told those people that we would answer their questions first.
Okay.
So this guy says, Luke uses Chris as a prep coach but not all year round, does he? Do you use him all year round? Do you use him like in the off season too?
Yeah. In the off season, I'll just send him pictures and he'll say, "Yeah, you're not fat, that's fine." And then he'll say, "What are you eating?" And I'll be like, "Mostly pizza." And I'll be like, "Cool. Pics in 5 days or something." He's very casual.
So you're not really so.
No,
okay.
but he'll just hit, if he sees when things need to be reined in, he'll tell me.
But what I'm saying is to clarify to this person, it's more like you have a diet that you're doing, and he's just monitoring you to make sure you don't get turned to a fat slob.
Yeah, basically. And then in the I do my own training. I mean, I pretty much eat what I want in the off season for the most part. I mean, I follow the diet and then I eat whatever I want on top of that.
Yeah. So, all right, I got another one here. Would love to hear your favorite bodybuilders and who you think are the top 3 underrated and overrated physiques of all time.
Okay, is this you go first?
I go first. My favorite bodybuilders.
Yeah.
Ronnie Coleman.
Go. Sure.
Ronnie Coleman, Dexter Jackson. Chris Cormier.
Dexter Jackson, eh?
Yeah. Hey, man. And I'll tell you that. This is why. I'll tell you this. When my very first show I ever went to was Toronto Pro Am.
Yeah.
And the pro show, the first pros I ever saw was Marcus Rule, Dexter Jackson, and Mike Matarazzo. And I was like, holy fuck. I had never seen anybody the size of Marcus Rule, and I never seen anybody with a perfect physique like Dexter's.
Oh, yeah.
So from the very beginning, I always thought Dexter's physique was amazing.
Can you imagine having Marcus's size but Dexter's physique?
It's like a 10-time Mr. Olympia. That's
insane, isn't it? I mean, imagine being just Dexter, but scale him up to Ronnie's size.
But that's what Ronnie was. If you look at Ronnie,
no, he wasn't. He wasn't as nice looking as Dexter.
Come on, 1999, 2000, Ronnie.
No, of course, but he still wasn't as good looking. I don't mean it in that way, but you know what I mean.
I think so. If you look at 99 Ronnie, his waist,
the shape of him, like if you look at his like silhouette, but all of Dexter's lines and roundness.
Yeah, they're all I could say that. Yeah. So who are your three favorite?
Mike Francois, Dorian Yates, and probably Justin Compton.
Do you think there's a reason why I picked three black guys and you picked three white guys?
Well, you're not black, so no.
But could I identify more with the minorities? Because
you identify you. I identify as a peanut butter sandwich.
I'm being fucking serious though.
No, I agree with you. I think people also like physiques that kind of resemble them.
That's what I'm saying. I think people like there's no Arab bodybuilders really. I mean, there's a couple, but
Rami.
Yeah, but I love Rami's physique. But I love Rami's physique, but I wouldn't put Rami in my top three favorites only because I haven't seen him bring the conditioning.
That's true.
If Ronnie ever gets in the same conditioning as Ronnie Coleman, then it'll be a fucking terrifying thing for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, give me three underrated physiques.
Fuck. This is a hard one.
It is a hard one because you're thinking about like all time.
Yeah. Underrated.
I think Nathan's overrated.
Yep.
I'm not saying that just because you have a feud with him. I
agree. Are we going with overrated then?
Yeah, let's go with overrated.
I would have used to have said Jay Cutler.
Really?
Just because it's not very nice to look at. It's just huge.
But at that time, it was.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But nowadays, because there's no one like that around now, it's like, wow, I get it.
No. I mean, like back then, it didn't matter how wide your waist was or anything like that.
I know. So I'm looking at it from today's standards.
Yeah, I don't know how well Jay would do now. How do you think Jay would do nowadays?
I don't know. I think he'd still do just as well, but I think he would be more vigilant with certain things. Like I think he would make more of an effort with his midsection.
His midsection wasn't really bad. He just had big obliques.
Yeah, but maybe he could or would have done something about that. Maybe modified something, or maybe not gotten quite as big.
Jay Cutler, you're overrated.
No. I mean, you're
going to suffer a shitstorm for that.
That's not what I'm saying.
I think that's what you said. I'm going to cut that clip out.
I used to, the old me. The new me wouldn't say that.
Okay. Give me one overrated physique.
Fouad Abiad.
I'm underrated, if anything.
I know. I honestly don't know because.
All right, we'll move on.
Actually, I'm not being controversial. I'm not being afraid of being controversial. I literally can't think of it.
I know it's hard to think of on the spot. All right, let's see what this guy says. Hey guys, could you maybe talk about ways to ensure to get the appropriate amount of calories in for someone who has a tough time getting all the food down?
Eat the fucking food.
Yeah, this is a common misconception I think people always have is that it's easy. I had this conversation with.
I'm not hungry. Yeah. What do you mean? What is hungry in the off season? The word hungry doesn't exist.
I know. I just said this on my podcast with Kukla. I said, you're really only happy for a few months out of the year or a few weeks out of the year. Most of the time, you're fucking starving or you're stuffed. Yeah. So, all right. Yeah, no. Some tips to get food down would be don't fucking snack as much. Try and eat cleaner food.
I would also try and choose food you actually enjoy eating. Things like if you prefer pasta versus rice, it's not ideal, but it's better than not. I mean, eat bread. If people want to eat bread in their diet, so if they want to have like a chicken wrap or something, that's fine.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that too. I think people get stuck on, well, I got to eat rice or I got to eat oatmeal. And I'm like, that's kind of.
You know, I've heard of some people doing is. I've never done this. I don't recommend it. Is instead of having chicken and rice, they just eat breaded chicken because there's plenty of carbs in it.
I used to do that. Actually, me and Frank used to laugh about that all the time because we do shake and bake.
Yeah.
You know the shake and bake box? Yeah, we used to do that all the time. It would fucking taste great.
Exactly. Like they'll just have breaded chicken and there's probably like 50 grams of carbs in it, like a 10-ounce portion of chicken.
But I would still have rice with it.
Yeah, you would. Yeah. I would definitely still have rice with it too.
Hey, man. When you're trying to grow, you got to fucking eat.
Exactly. Have chicken and rice. We use breaded chicken. Perfect. Tips.
Do you think I should get an invite to the Olympia?
You look like a T-Rex at the moment. So. Actually, I was very surprised that you posted another video. Was it today or yesterday where your arms look like they've blown up in like a week?
They're actually coming back fast.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You can see it within a week.
And I'm not even using any fucking like pump and pose or any of that shit. It's just all just, I think, mind muscle.
It's all natural for that.
It's all, well, I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, no, I'm actually pretty happy. I think by spring I will be ready.
You never had bad arms, so they're going to come back quick.
I have short insertions though. I don't have bad arms. I just have short insertions, and it looks worse. When you have short insertions, it looks worse as you get older.
Oh,
so like
my insertions are really long on my arms.
I know, it's fucking retarded. Your tricep like goes all the way down.
It's literally there.
I know, it's crazy, man.
There's no.
Yeah. I don't have.
That's why people always like, oh, he's got like really suspect triceps. No. They're just really long. Like they attach.
Oh, there's something in there. I can tell, but we won't. There's nothing in there.
No. There's no SEO, nothing.
Really?
No.
I'm very surprised by that. I don't know if I believe you.
Well, they wouldn't move like they do, like, you know?
Yeah, I think they would. There's no striations there.
That's because I'm the water buffalo.
Did you do this show thinking I would call you out in the middle of it?
I'm just trying to tell myself at anybody. I'll tell you what I do, guys. A lot of people say, oh, he's got syntho on his traps. Oh. If I'm going to put it anywhere, it's not going to be in those.
Why would you put syntho on your traps?
When I just stand there, they're just like...
Yeah, I know, but that's from doing fucking 9-plate deadlifts.
But people think, oh, there's no way, bro. And it's like, if I'm going to use that shit, it's going in my shit chest. That's where it's going.
You know what's funny is if people want big traps, they're always like, do shrugs. I'm like, no. Do heavy fucking deadlifts.
The only site Hudson I've ever used or recommend is that Metaform, but that's water-based. And I haven't used it in so long. I don't know if
I don't like that shit.
Yeah, you didn't like it, but I mean, I haven't used that for. I think I used it for a little bit in my arnold prep, but that's like 6 months ago, so I haven't used it since then. So it's either phenomenal and held, or there's nothing left.
Okay, I'm going to be completely transparent because I've actually been asked this question about SEOs and different things, and I tried the Metaform, and it actually I felt like it fucked up my arms. I felt like it actually ate away at my tricep, if that makes sense.
Really?
Yeah, like my tricep was nice and full, and then all of a sudden, like half of it fucking disappeared.
The fuck?
Yeah, I will never ever use that shit again.
I know. I mean, I never had that. I use it very sparingly, and it'd get rounder quickly and kind of just stay there.
You know, it's funny. A lot of people talk about SEOs and how they make your arms rounder and all this shit. I think obviously there's a way to do it so it looks good because I know it's really popular. I've never had a really good experience with any of that shit. No. My arms always fucking looked, honestly, when I look back at my photos, my arms looked better before I started doing anything to them. And I don't mean, because I've never done a lot, but even like site injections, even before I started doing site injections, like my arms always look better.
It's weird. I think it does depend on your insertions because I've never done any like real SEOs. I've never bothered because I haven't needed to. Like, honestly, if I was going to use it, I'd use it in my chest because it's shit. Which is... Your
chest isn't shit.
No, it's not, but it's not as good. I wouldn't need it here, you know? So...
Oh, somebody asked that question. Sorry, go on. I want to ask you that after.
I think where they're so like round and full and responsive, they kind of just respond because they fill up nicely. If yours are shorter, they kind of bunch up.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've never been able, even when I do my normal shots, I never do shots and it's like a smooth thing. It always gets fucked up. Like, I don't know.
It's you then, not the products.
It could be. I've tried everything though. I've tried using like 1.5 inch. I've tried using 1 inch. I've tried using larger gauge, smaller gauge. I've tried going really slow. I've tried going fast.
That's what I mean. And it probably is you then. So.
You mean the muscle, not the way I'm doing it.
Yeah, your muscle, like
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you're something to do with your body, not like.
You know, somebody said to me recently, I didn't even know it was a possibility, was doing subcutaneous shots.
I have heard that.
I never even knew that was a possibility.
No, I didn't. I mean, I've heard somebody talk about it. It might have been like on a John Meadows podcast.
Apparently, it takes longer to absorb the gear, but it's more of a level. Like you don't get as much highs and lows with it.
That's odd.
Yeah, but I think it would be better. I mean, if I could do anything to not interrupt the way the muscle fiber works, that would be the ideal way to go.
Yeah. Well,
but I just don't know enough about it to try it.
You get a lot of like grasping and scraping, and
I talked to one physiologist that said that stuff is complete bullshit. Even though, just I'll say it's my favorite type of therapy. I heard it doesn't do shit because you can't actually break up scar tissue.
Okay, so why does it work then?
I think it's just because his explanation was it's because you're drawing a lot of blood to the area. And when you draw blood, you draw nutrients, so it's going to help that muscle recover faster.
It's very odd because if I have I'm going to use the word knot.
Yeah.
If there's you can feel like when it's like lumpy it could be an injury, anything. When I've had the scraping work, it's gone.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And everything rounds out, so it must work somehow.
Listen, that's why I said to begin with, it's my favorite type of therapy.
Yeah.
But this is just what he was saying, and I'm like,
and your range of motion gets so much better.
Yeah.
So
I do it on myself. Like before,
it definitely works. I have a TheraGun I use, and it definitely does something.
Yeah, the gun helps loosen up the muscle, but my gun came with a scraper.
Yeah, mine has as well.
Yeah, so the day before legs, I'll use a little bit of baby oil, like just all around my knee, about 6 inches above my knee and 6 inches below my knee, like just around the underneath the kneecap. Just some light scraping, and the next day I feel like there's no issues at all.
Well, it does do something.
Well, but I do agree with his what he's saying is if you draw a lot of blood to the area, it's going to loosen up the muscle and it's going to feed it the nutrients it needs to recover.
So that's fine. So it does do something then.
Yeah, and then I said to him, I said, look, even if you're right, mentally it makes me feel great. He goes, well, placebo is a strong thing, so even if it mentally makes you feel great, then keep doing it.
You can't get on there with a lump earlier. I must have been imagining it. It's not. This is the thing about doctors. They're like, because one of the parts of the theory doesn't add up sides of it doesn't work. Because I've had really good coaches say refeeds don't work scientifically. Well, we all know that they do.
Yeah,
they definitely work.
Well, I'll say this: I've been getting grasses done for a long time. It always feels good, and it always feels like it works. I'm just telling you what one guy said.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, how can he possibly say that when you know yourself that it's feeling good, it works?
Because he's blaming it on placebo. It's kind of like Dan Neumeier. Okay, I think he's a PhD. He says that using ice doesn't work. But I'll tell you, every time I ice an injury or a sore area or tendonitis, it immediately feels better. And I don't mean in the moment that it's frozen. I mean like the next day it feels better.
Yeah, which means it definitely does something.
That's what I'm saying. But he'll swear up and down that it's just in your head.
It's still done something. So, this is what I mean. It's like
I'll tell you the best I ever felt. For anybody out there with like sore knees or anything like that.
You did grass them with an ice block.
No. Listen, the best I ever felt was ice baths.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I used to do ice bath just on my lower body. Like
I'm doing some cryotherapy next week.
I'm interested in that. I haven't tried it yet.
I mean, do you just go into like?
You go into the booth and just stand there, and it's like,
this is fucking freezing.
Listen, if it works anything like an ice bath, you're gonna love it. Because I remember when I was doing ice baths, my lower body never felt like it was so free, like moving wise. My IT bands felt better.
I don't know if you've heard, mate, but ice doesn't do anything. But there you go. So it definitely helps.
No, I know. I'm just telling you this. Sometimes the science doesn't say what we say.
Yeah. One thing I am excited about is just made me think is I've got a 2-hour appointment with Derek Farnsworth in the week leading into the Olympia, which is something I've always wanted to do.
I heard he's really, really good. He asked me a long time ago.
Apparently the week before the show, he has his own way of treating you to get everything separated more, better blood flow, like have you like more mobile and all your joints opened up so you can hit your poses better. I'm like, I think that'd be really nice.
How did you swing that? Is he going to be in?
I think he just offers it out to all the Cito's guys because we all stay in the same hotel. So
fuck, I should get back on with the Cito.
Yeah,
I get these little
cookies.
All right, listen. Okay, I got another question here from William Young. He says, "What are your happiest moments in the past 5 years?" Just give me like 2. You don't have to give me like a rundown of the top 10.
I actually went to the woods on Christmas Eve with my son, my dog, and his mum. And we're not in any kind of relationship. We're just friends.
Yeah.
And I just remember being there and being like, this feels fucking amazing. Just in this one like moment.
Yeah. But how?
So that's the happiest. And probably
wait a minute. Before you wait, I want to ask you before you go on. So how do how do you do something with I don't have kids. This is what I'm asking. So how do you do something with your child and his mother and not have any feelings for the mother?
I just don't. We don't. We're just friends.
But I mean, if it's that perfect, that it's one of the happiest moments you've had.
It was no. It was just, there was something about the feeling of seeing him happy with the dog.
Okay.
It wasn't about her. It was more about just the whole. It's nice to actually have people around you at Christmas.
I see.
It was weird.
But does it?
Because we were at the top of this big hill overlooking just pure British countryside, all covered in frost, and it was just and the sun was like coming up. No, I didn't know it was going down. And I was like, it's fucking Christmas tomorrow. This is amazing. Fuck yeah.
But doesn't that make you want to be with her?
No, because it was more about my son than anything else, and just being
okay,
and seeing him. I don't know, it was just cool.
What was the next one you were going to say?
Getting third at the Arnold.
Yeah, I was going to say that would be up
That
there.
was crazy. Still the weirdest thing that's ever happened.
I'm going to say winning 2 pro shows back to back. Well, wait. I better say something with my wife first because I'll get in trouble if I don't. Yeah. So something with my wife is first.
Yep.
Anything
with my wife.
Anything with my wife. Pick it. That was first. And no, I'll tell you the truth. Winning those 2 pro shows, this is what I think. I don't know if this is the same for you, but this is what people don't understand. It took me a long time to win those 2 pro shows. I turned pro in 2006. Okay. Yeah. So it was like for my training partner and for my wife more than it was for me. Like, I don't know if you got that feeling when you took third at the Arnold's. Maybe not, because it's like you got it earlier in your career.
Yeah.
But I literally felt happier for my wife and my fucking training partner.
I actually felt that when I turned pro, actually. I felt that more because I tried that. I remember my girlfriend at the time. Again, we're good friends, and I just remember I won, and I was like, surely that makes it worth it, right? It's not. That's a little bit like that makes it kind of better.
Yeah.
If I fucked it up and it failed, then the whole thing would have been for nothing.
Yeah.
So she kind of gave me the look like, I don't hate you after all. So, she turned pro the year before, the fucker.
Yeah, I think it was just for me because they had been waiting for so long. I got so many second places and so many third places, and they're like, "What the fuck is going? Are you ever going to win?" And I think I finally hit it, and it actually felt better for them. So those are probably my two top moments. Rob Steen Fitness says, "What does real off-season food intake look like a pro?" I saw this one. I wanted to touch on it just because I don't think people know how much you actually eat. And I think people know we say like 5,000 calories, but tell them what like a regular meal is for you.
Yeah, I'll just
when you're trying to get big.
Okay, so I'm in peak off season. My breakfast will probably be something like 200 grams of like muesli with a banana on the top, bit of honey on there, about 8 ounces of steak for 4 or 5 whole eggs, breakfast, and then meals from then would be probably 120 grams of carbs from rice, 10 ounces of chicken, and then
you're eating like, so for those people who don't know, 120 grams of rice is like 3 cups of rice.
I'm talking 120 grams of carbs from rice.
That's what I'm saying. So 120 grams of carbs from rice is like 3 cups of rice, probably.
Yeah. So it's 3 cups of rice, 10 ounces of chicken, and then I'll probably put some fats in there, some macadamia nut oil or something. I'll have that, and then pre-training, I'll have the same, and I probably will add the cookies in.
Yeah.
And whilst I train, between 80 and 100 grams of carbs, like 30 grams of essential aminos. Post-training, I normally have a big fucking bowl of cereal with whey.
Oh wait, so you're doing intra carbs too?
Yeah, and then
what are you doing? Clustered dextrin or?
Clustered dextrin and essential aminos with some electrolytes.
Are you doing pre-carbs too, or no, or just intra?
Just in the meal, so that's enough. And I started drinking my intra kind of on the way to the gym anyway.
Okay.
Post-workout, I normally have like 100 grams of carbs, 150 grams. Well, about 150 grams of carbs, usually from like Rice Krispies.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry to keep interrupting. So what do you eat your pre-workout meal? How soon before the gym?
Hour and a half.
When do you drink your pre-workout shake?
On the way to the gym.
But you just said you drink your intra-workout shake on the way to the gym.
Yes, so normally what I do is I put so my pre-workout so my pre-workout I'll have like the pump shit in there and all that, and then I'll get my jug of intra and I will fill my pre-workout up with my pre-workout.
Oh, okay.
So I've drank about a third of it with my pre-workout on the way to the gym.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, and then post-workout cereal, and I isolate, and then when I get home, I'll have another steak, a fuckload of pineapple, and another 100 grams of carbs from rice. And before bed, usually like 500 grams of a big thing of fat-free Greek yogurt, 2-3 tablespoons of almond butter, and a load of granola and berries in the bowl.
You do Greek yogurt, granola, berries,
almond butter,
and almond butter. That's your last meal?
Yeah.
That sounds pretty good.
It is really good.
So are you doing 5 or 6 meals?
So it's 5 in the shake in the intro, yeah.
So 5 in your intro. So 5 whole food meals?
Yeah. But they're all big.
So I shouldn't feel bad because my off seasons usually I'm always trying to get 6. I can never get 6 in.
I just think I mean that's what I was like. So I just had 5 bigger meals. It's easier.
Yeah, that's what I realized too. All right. Well, I'm not going to go through mine because mine's very, very similar. So there you go, Rob.
Oh dear.
You okay?
I just breathed in the wrong hole because we're talking about food. My stomach must have gone, give me something. Making me choke.
Godry Paul says, "What's the coolest thing you guys have gotten to do because of bodybuilding?"
I don't know.
I'm going to say mine is traveling.
Yeah, that's I would kind of. Yeah, I mean that's quite like vague though, isn't it?
Well, no, I mean, yeah, I guess I can't point to one specific thing, but because there isn't one. Like I feel lucky that I with SciTech, I traveled to Paris, I traveled to Germany, I traveled to fucking all these different places, Spain, whatever. So I don't know. I probably wouldn't have went to all those places if I wasn't bodybuilding. So it's just a cool thing to be able to go. Like I guest pose in the Bahamas one year.
Yeah, I guess pose in the Faroe Islands, which is like north. Yeah,
like it's different too than just visiting. Like I went there, and they kind of had somebody guide like with me. I stayed for a week. And we did the guest posing, and then somebody like toured me around the whole week. So I got to see the island properly, and I got to so it's like stuff like that you wouldn't get to do if you weren't bodybuilding. I have to go pay somebody to guide me and all that stuff. And I'm not that kind of person. I'm not a world traveler. So
yeah. No, I know that is one of the cool things. Like a lot of the time when like Ben and I are away somewhere for a show or something else, and we're like driving across Florida, and Aaron's souped up raptor. We're like, what the fuck is going on? This is cool. Don't get fucking hair in my throat.
Go get a drink, man.
Oh. Yeah, I don't think it's that. It's like tickling the back of my throat.
How many cars does Aaron have now?
I don't know, 4 or 5.
Did he let you drive any of them?
Yeah, these Ford Raptor.
He let you drive the Raptor? His Raptor's fucking done up nice.
It's amazing. We took it from Boca to Tampa. It was like a 4-hour drive.
He let you take it?
Oh.
What the fuck? What kind of owner is this? He's just like, here, take my truck?
Yeah, well, because we just made sure we were insured, and then we just went 2 days. Because it was cheaper than getting a car for us and all the Ubers. So we just said, just take the truck.
I know. I just think, I don't know. I wouldn't fucking give somebody my shit like that. That's a nice truck.
Yeah, he trusts me. I'm trustworthy.
He's trying to give you the perks to stay on to the team. So you make sure you stay on the team.
That is a perk, I tell you.
Are you almost up for contract renewal? He's probably like trying to show you the good stuff so you don't ask for more money. How many years did you sign on for that with them for?
So it's 2 years, and then everything gets evaluated at 1 year. So.
I noticed you guys are doing. He's really a hands-on owner, right?
He's awesome. Yeah, he's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I noticed you guys are doing videos together and shit, and like.
Yeah, he's great. He doesn't. He's just great. He just loves bodybuilding. He loves everyone doing well. He just genuinely wants to see everyone do as well as they can.
I feel like it's always better, and I don't want to. I don't want to say this. I don't want to say anything bad about any other companies, but I always feel better buying products from somebody who loves bodybuilding, or a bodybuilder. You know what I mean? Because like
the thing about Aaron is he's extremely generous with like his money and his resources, as much as he is with his time. Like, a lot of people don't really know that about him. He's very hands-on with everything. So when I'm there, he spends a lot of time with me and make sure that he has time rather than just being like, hey, I've got work to do.
That's the way a lot of people don't know this, but that's the way most owners are.
Yeah, he's great.
Most owners don't want anything, don't give a shit about their athletes. So it's kind of more like what can you do for me?
Yeah,
They're
no,
not.
Aaron's great. He's very much like well, obviously from a business perspective, he's like he wants me to do as good as I can. The better I do, the better it is for the company.
Well, of course, of
So
course.
but he doesn't. But it's like he genuinely does want me to do well anyway. Because he was
Yeah,
really nice to me before I was with Redcon. He was always very, messing me all the time. He was just a cool guy. So
I think he's just a fan of the sport, and he's a fan of
that's
the
what I
guy.
mean.
Yeah,
Like every time I did a show, he just messaged me saying you look great, or he'd comment on my pictures. Like I like bodybuilding stuff. Just
yeah,
being
yeah.
nice.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
What do we have here? Let me go to the actual Instagram page because there's like 500 comments.
I'm gonna check it out. See what you got.
See what you can find. I'll see what I can find. All right, so this guy's asked this question before. Does sex fall in as part of a cardio session during prepping, or is it not counted?
Say it again. The sex does it count or not count?
Does sex count as part of your cardio while you're prepping? I'm going to go ahead and say, unless you're fucking for 40
I'm going to say no, but do more of it. Do enough of it so you could potentially make it count.
I'm going to say if you could fuck long enough and continuously enough.
There's going to be so many guys watching this being like, I fucking can.
I don't know what girl he's with, but like, I'm sorry, man. Most girls don't want to be pounded for 40 minutes.
It's true. And they get to the point where they're just like,
you're like, just lay there. I got to keep my heart rate. I got to keep my heart rate at 120, and you're just like,
like playing Xbox off their back.
Yeah, no, that does not count, man. It does not count. What does it feel like to be a 300-pound bodybuilder, Luke?
Fine.
Fun? That's it? That's your fucking answer?
Fine. I don't have a problem with it.
He's asked, come on, man, give him an answer.
That is the answer.
All right.
I feel slow.
Oh, this guy says, what's your thoughts on Dusty Hanshaw getting a podcast up again? Will you guys work together or anything? So I think Dusty and Ron are doing a podcast together.
Oh, nice. That'd be cool.
Yeah. I don't know. It's not.
Well, we do a lot of cardio. It gives us something extra to listen to. Cheers. Good.
Yeah, that's what I feel. I'm like, it's more bodybuilding media. It's not going to hurt anything if there's.
It's like, I always say we all eat from the same table.
Listen, in my opinion, the more of us there is doing it, and the less people like fucking, the shit people that don't know much about bodybuilding doing it, the better. So if there's two other pros doing a show, then that's great.
Oh, yeah. What's your GH protocol in there? I'm going to answer this one. GH protocol for beginners and advanced athletes. It's both the same. Make sure it's real and make sure you use it.
I think he wants to know how much. I
don't know. I think 8 is the very highest top end. And I think you can get away with about 3. Anything below 3 is probably pointless. Anything above 8 is pointless.
I think what people need to know is it's going to take a long fucking time to work.
Yeah, it's the most overrated. It's like adding branched amino acids to your diet and be like, I'm going to wake up like Ronnie Coleman next week.
I think if you're looking for fat loss, you can get the gains from it quickly.
Yeah, I think it's just another cosmetic compound. You get a bit fuller, a little bit leaner, quicker, and that's about it. You recover better.
I don't think so. You know what I think the biggest benefit of it is? For me, anyway, that I've seen?
Yeah.
The biggest benefit of growth hormone for me is that when I'm using it, I can go on extremely low calories and not lose muscle. Yeah, or I feel like it's harder to lose muscle or harder to lose.
I think what people are asking is like, is it the secret? Does it help with getting bigger? I don't believe it does. Is it this thing that everyone's like, oh, that must be what the pros are doing way more than anyone else? Right? Trust me, none of us can afford a 28 IU a day. Which not all the shut up.
Yeah, no.
Losing on that much, let alone paying for it.
Well, I think you just end up with a massive fucking headache.
Yeah.
And you'd be bloated and just asleep half the time.
So I think it's like just people need to understand is it's like GH isn't the secret. GH isn't even that good. It's the most overrated drug. In fact, Dan Duchesne in his book said he believes it's used purely out of paranoia. because every other athlete does it, so every athlete does it because every other athlete does it, and he said it's pretty much a waste of time.
Sorry, one sec. No, I don't think I really don't think it's a waste of time. I think it's a waste of time if you're looking to use it for growth.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, exactly that. That's what I mean. It's not a waste of time, but is it the holy grail? And is the reason pros are as big as we are because of growth? No.
But didn't we see a difference in size in bodybuilders when growth hormone came into effect?
No, not really. No.
Come on, man.
Did we?
Look at the 80s and then look at the 90s and then look at the 2000s. You don't see the progression?
I mean, there is a little bit, but some of the guys back in the 90s, early 2000s were fucking huge too.
In the 1990s?
No, the late 90s, early 2000s. I think there were some guys then that were huge, like Rule and.
Yeah, but that's when it was more prevalent. That's what I'm saying.
I thought you meant like from then onwards.
No, what I'm saying is if you look at the progression just from year to year, from the 80s all the way through to now, the bodybuilders seem to have gotten bigger after the introduction of growth hormone.
Yeah, potentially, but I think also there were more drugs available, and testosterone was a big one that came into play more in bodybuilding. Because before
you think it's just
primo and debol and things like that, and I think as people got smarter with that drugs they should use, and everyone then started realizing you have to actually have an off season and get bigger in the off season, then diet down. That changed everything.
So you think it was more the science of everything and not just
the science to a point, and then maybe growth hormone helped up a notch. But what my point is, it's not this thing that if you start using growth hormone, you're not going to look like a pro all of a sudden.
No, and I agree with that. And the biggest misconception, one of the things I hate the most is like, oh, if you're using GH, that means you can eat pizza and still get shredded.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
exactly. That's what I mean. That's why I'm saying it's overrated, because it doesn't do that, and it doesn't automatically add pounds and pounds of muscle to you. It doesn't.
Yeah, no, I've never had that effect.
There's other very small benefits, and still, if you work out the cost of it for what you get out of it, it's probably not worth it. But because we do this as a job, we don't want to leave anything to chance. So. Yeah,
for the average person. Well, I mean, but even for the average person, if you're looking for fat loss, that's probably the biggest gain.
Very low dosage, but it's not going to be that expensive.
Yeah, that's true.
We're still, every time when we go to the benefits, we're moving completely away from growing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
For me, the biggest benefit, like I said, is just staying full while on low calories.
Yeah, again, that's
the biggest reason I would use it.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to take one more. So this guy says, I'd love to know about more experiences with the phases of becoming an elite bodybuilder, like first training, then eating seriously, when you started canceling on friends and solely focusing on it. So did you go through a progression, or did you kind of just cut it out?
I was just day one and go.
I went through a progression, man. I was like, day one, go. I started eating right and training right, but I still partied every weekend.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
I partied from age 20 to 25 every weekend, and then when I knew I could get my pro card, it kind of slowed down. It was like every other weekend. Yeah. Then after I turned pro, it was like once a month, and then when I started getting better as a pro, okay, I'm just going to take it serious. So I probably could have been a lot better had I just cut everything off, right? But
because I did a lot of that before, because all the drumming was before bodybuilding, so I got a lot of that kind of out of my system. So when I started, for me, it was just it was like I had to find something to occupy me, and bodybuilding, I just threw myself into it.
So you started at 23?
22.
So you had done all your partying before then, and you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hung out with a group of guys that were all lifting.
Yeah.
But they're all partying too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really like that anyway, to be honest. I'm not really a big party goer. I'm not really.
I'm not anymore.
But that's what I mean. I never really have been. Like,
oh, really?
I'm happy to just sit at home watching the comedy, getting really high as fuck and ordering a pizza. That's me. that's better.
Yeah, no, this guy, for this guy who asked the question, mine was a progression over the course of 10 years. Mm-hmm. It went from like kind of serious to a little more serious to a little more serious to then just.
But that just kind of shows everyone that there is no wrong or right way of doing it. It's like it's very much just individual to the person. You can't force it. I think that's one of the main things with bodybuilding I've learning is you cannot force it. If you have to force your discipline, if you have to force the training, if you have to force the diet or force the drugs, it's probably not for you. No, to a certain extent.
But I do have to say, because I always tell this to like young guys coming up.
Yeah.
I feel like the best guys are the guys with the least amount of bad days. And what I mean by that is like in my 20s, let's say from 20 to 25, I partied 200 times, right? Or let's say I partied 100 times.
Yeah.
That's 100 days that I was like hungover, or I missed meals, or like, right? So how much faster could I have turned pro? So I tell guys when they say like, I just talked to this young kid. He's like, well, do I have to cut partying right out of my life? And I'm like, look, you can do what you want to do, but every day you fuck up is one longer day it's going to take you to reach your goal.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I look at it. So you stopped partying at 22, and you reached your goal a lot faster than had you kept on partying every weekend.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you're right.
So, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I think everybody's different. They're going to make their own choices. Some people try and find a way to keep some of that stuff as part of their life, and some people just want to like eliminate it completely and go all the way in. What else is going on in your life? Anything before we go?
No, I mean, it was time. I'm due to eat. That's pretty exciting. Other than that, no. Diet, the food goes right fucking down tomorrow. So I'm gonna enjoy
what are you going from? How many calories are you gonna go down to?
I think he's dropped about 200 carbs out.
200 grams out of your diet?
They're just gone. Bang. Fuck off. Done.
That's gonna fucking kill you, man. Did you replace them with fats?
Ooh. Just pull the out. Because I filled out so well. I'm so big and full. He'll probably pull me down really hard, see where I am, and top me back up again.
Yeah, he'll probably give you like a cheat.
I mean, I've just said that, but that's going to be the absolute opposite of what he does, because no one knows what Chris does. Not even Chris knows what Chris does. He'll just go, let's do it. He'll just pull it out of the air, look at it, and go, yeah, let's do that.
But the good thing about Chris is he checks on you like every fucking day. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, at Tampa, he's like, I'm here. Knocks on the door. I'm like, okay. He'll just look at me with his glasses. Mate, you stand in that light. Good. Let's just move back. Okay. He'll come up to me. He'll pinch my watery bit. He'll grab it like, that's tighter. And then he'll fuck off. And then he'll be back like 2 hours later and does exactly the same. It's great. And then when he starts getting really excited, he starts using really weird, he's like a child, and things start coming together. He gets really, like, almost giggly. I feel
like I regret not ever finishing my prep with him.
Oh, he's brilliant, especially when I want it in my. I mean, when I want my Redcon contract to have Chris has to be with me at every show without fail. Well,
if this fucking years keep going the way they are, you can probably add that to your contract.
He's just fucking awesome. So for Tampa, he was like I said, he just when I was flat, and he was like, yeah, see, it's like he knew it would happen.
Yeah. Well, you got to seek your fucking coach. We're our worst enemies, man.
Yeah.
You knew, like I said, you knew you're going to be standing next to a bunch of guys who are going to be fucking peeled, and you got nervous.
He's like, and for the Olympia, he's like, I want you harder, fuller, denser.
So how does this feel for you now going into the Olympia? Because people have Dexter predicted anywhere from first to fourth.
I can absolutely, without a doubt, beat Dexter.
Really?
I stood next to the guy. Half the people booed when I got second. Like, it's not as if I bring how I know I can be.
Yeah.
Like, just fuller. I mean, being fuller, I mean, rounder, thicker, all that bubbliness will come back. And
do you think people booed because they know you're better, or do you think people booed because they're so sick of fucking Dexter winning?
I don't know. I didn't say, hang on a second, just stop everyone.
I know you didn't ask them. I'm asking what you thought.
Tell me. No, I'm hoping because they thought I should have won. That's what I'm hoping. I mean, but like, I didn't beat him that day, and I don't believe I should have. But what I do believe is I can beat him.
You think if you're bigger and fuller, you can beat him?
Have I fixed some of those errors that were my fault? Yeah, I think I can.
That puts you in the top 5 at the O. That's exciting.
I want to be in the top 5.
I know that. That's fucking exciting, man. It's coming around.
Chris fully thinks I can too.
Okay.
Like, Chris doesn't bullshit. I've never heard it. He will never say anything he doesn't fully believe.
I know. And I'm not.
Do you want me to make a prediction? And then he'll tell you the prediction, and he'll be like, mark my word. Or he'll say, like, see, you heard it here first.
I'm not saying you're not going to be top 5, because as I sit here and think of who's going to beat you, it's tough. There's not a lot.
I think I was sharper in Tampa than I was at the Arnold. I was way flatter.
Yeah. How do you think Flex Lewis is going to do next year?
He's looking big. I don't know.
Is he? What's he weighing now? Do you know?
I didn't actually ask him, but he looks just thicker, fuller, which is cool. And he's absolutely smashing the arse out of his training as well.
I think he's going to fucking win whatever show he enters.
Yeah, I mean, does he go straight to the Olympia, or does he have to qualify?
I think he should have to qualify.
I think he should get a special invite because he's the 7-time 212 champion. I think that's good enough for him to say, all right, come try out for the first Olympia. First Olympia's on us.
I'm saying it for selfish reasons, though. I think you're right. Like ethically, I would say you're right.
No, because we know he's going to win a qualifier. It's boring. I want to see him go up.
I don't know he's going to win a qualifier.
Yeah, we do.
What if he does? What if he does the Arnold? You think he wins the Arnold?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I want to see what show he picks.
Yeah.
And I want to see him stand next to guys who are 250, 260, 70 pounds.
Yeah.
That's what I want. And I want to see that.
On the Olympian stage.
But I want to see that before he gets to the Olympia.
Yeah, but you're not going to get guys 250, 260, 270 at these qualifiers. That's very rare.
I'm 250, 260.
Yeah, but you're also an Olympian.
I did the Olympia once.
There you go.
I qualified 4 times, but I did.
Why did you only do it once?
You know why? Because when you're young, you think there'll always be another year.
Oh, do you? So I think the opposite of that. That's why I was doing it. I'm always like, yes.
Yeah, no, I did the first one in 2008 because I wanted to see what it felt like, and it was awesome. It was exactly what I felt like, exactly what I thought it would feel like. And then I qualified again in 2009, and then 2011, and 2015. In 2015, I should have done it for sure, because 2015 I was like, I was already like 37 or some shit. I should have done it. But every time I want to do it, I think I'll be better next year. I want to wait till I'm better.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's tough. It's a tough one.
The 2015 one was because I had done 3 pro shows that year.
Yeah.
And I literally was fucking burnt out. I was like, I'm fucking burnt out. I just can't diet anymore.
Yeah.
And the early ones, I just want to be better. I wanted to, and that was normal back then. Like Evan had skipped one. Ben had skipped one. So
I wouldn't ever skip one personally.
No? I think honestly, I think that's the better way to go.
Yeah, I do.
Because it's like, I probably regret not doing all of them.
Sacrifice of some regrets.
Listen, I got one more question I want to ask you before we go. There's 2 of them.
What's this?
I got. Put a muzzle on that thing.
You are fucking sure, mate. No, there's no one there. There's literally no one there. Why are you doing this? We're live on air. What are you doing? I will punch you in the face. Right, go.
Ready? What's your biggest regret in life?
Oh, God. I know the answer to that so that's something I'm not prepared to share on air.
Really?
Oh, fuck yeah.
It's that bad?
No, to me it is. That's because it's my biggest regret. I think things like that are like having your shit in front of a girl. Best left, not heard or seen.
All right, I'll share mine.
Biggest regret in bodybuilding, maybe?
Well, he says in life, but you can say in bodybuilding.
In bodybuilding, probably doing the Vancouver show like 2 years ago. I was so fucked. I should not have done that show. That's
such a small thing. You got nothing better than that? You didn't have an in-between?
Nearly dying in California. But then again, that's led me to be better. I don't know.
It was when you take all the diuretics.
That, yeah, as well.
Yeah. Mine is not finishing school.
Oh, yeah, of course. I didn't finish school.
I did 2 years of university, and I didn't. I pursued bodybuilding after that. So
but why is that a regret now? Because you're doing very well. So
it's just because I think it's something I should have. I don't like starting shit and then not finishing.
Okay.
And I just think it was important to finish that.
Maybe, but it hasn't steered you wrong. You know, I mean, it seems like looking back at it, it's like it's something you would have liked to have done, but it's not necessarily would have made your life better.
Well, I'm not beating myself up about it. I'm just saying if I had one thing I could change about my life, that would be it.
Yeah.
So, last question before we go. Any amusing stories you have at shows, like backstage banter or someone messing up your tan? Anything about shows that...
I normally have headphones. A lot of the time I have headphones on backstage.
What?
a lot of the time I have headphones on backstage. I don't really hear anything. I don't really pay attention. And no, I'm always use Protan. It's literally since I think my second ever show, I've been with Protan.
Okay, fine. Let me switch questions then. This guy asks, have you or Luke ever really hated another bodybuilder that you competed against?
No.
Your answers suck.
No, but I haven't, because me and Nathan haven't competed together yet. So
you've never, okay, maybe hate is a strong word, but you've never been like, I really want to fucking kick the shit out of this bodybuilder on stage.
Nathan, yeah, probably.
That's the only one?
Yeah. No, because like the honest truth is, I don't really talk to bodybuilders that much.
I used to hate Ben Pekulski.
I can
we had a what was a little rivalry, a Canadian rivalry. Yeah. And it was my younger self. I was more immature, and I didn't, you know how you just said we all eat from the same table?
Yeah.
I didn't have that mentality. I was like, it's my table. You don't fucking belong here. So but then I grew up and I was like, it's all good. So we're fine now. But, and then that relates back to the story about any backstage. You know what he did to me one time?
What?
So I'm at the Arnold's and I'm already fucking nervous because it's the fucking Arnold's Columbus. And I'm like, and we go on stage. He gets first call out and I'm in the second call out. As I'm walking by him to go, you know, you step up on the podium. As I'm walking by him to step up on the podium, he goes, "Hey, your tan's all fucked up. You look a little green." Motherfucker. It just like stuck in my fucking head. I was still able to do what I had to do, but like,
was he bullshitting you?
Yes, he's just fucking with me. He's just being a fucking asshole.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So, yeah, little stuff like that went on, but not too often. But yeah,
I've never had any problems with anyone. Like, I think for the most part, most bodybuilders either don't really talk to them, they're really boring, or they're cool. I don't really.
I think the atmosphere is different now.
Yeah, maybe.
The atmosphere is different now because I think what Instagram has done is kind of made us all closer.
Yeah.
Like I see everybody, like they comment on each other's pictures and stuff, and they like each other's photos and shit. And I think it's created actually more camaraderie than more competition.
That's very likely. Which is probably why I've never experienced any of like the negativity backstage or
yeah. All right, buddy. We're gonna close it up for today.
Food time.
We'll be back next Monday with. Listen, if you guys are watching this, leave your topics that you want us to talk about in the comments section below. And
it's not working now.
Leave your comments in the comments below, and me and Luke will get to them next week. So,
yeah, hopefully something like major happens this week. Like, I don't know.
Well, you just have to give me better answers than you look really tired.
I'm so jet lagged. It's insane. It's never hit me this hard. I don't understand why it's been this bad this time.
Yeah, your answers were jet lagged.
Yeah, airplane lagged. That's what they say on the Karate Kid.
Should we air this?
Yeah. Why wouldn't we? What are you talking about? It's great. The dog's fucking pissing me off. Shush.
All right, go do your thing. I'm gonna go eat too.
Yeah. What have you got?
What?
What are you eating? I don't know.
Shrimp and rice with avocado.
I've got white fish and rice with no avocado.
Oh, right. Fish is gross.
Yeah.
What kind of white fish do you eat?
It's smoked bass, so that's not too bad.
It's a little salty, right?
Quite salty, yeah.
Yeah, I can't eat fucking white fish. Shrimp is good. All right, go eat. I'll talk to you. We'll talk.
Yep.
Okay, brother. Bye-bye.